Hello, my name is Gus, but you can call me BATGUS, and we are back with our Batman the Animated Series episodes, commentaries, and here we are with the new episode called The Strange Secret of Bruce Wayne. That's right, so this is one of my favorite episodes of this show, I gotta say right away, but as usual, let's do our countdown so we can watch the episode together. If you are with your DVD box set, Blu-ray box set, or streaming service with Batman the Animated Series, let's do the countdown together and give it a play, alright? So in 3, 2, 1, play. The Warner Bros. Logo is on the screen. And like I said, this is one of my favorite episodes of this show, I have to say right away. And as a kid, it was also one of my favorite episodes. So I have a great nostalgia for this one, especially for being one that I remember very fondly from the childhood, especially because I had this one recorded in one of those VHS tapes. I think I mentioned this in the last episode with the Catwoman, the cat scratch fever that... had some episodes of BTAS in VHS recorded, right, as a kid when it was broadcast on on one of the channels of my country, Brazil. But usually I had chunks of episodes recorded on VHS tapes because, if you remember very well, the tape only had 6 hours of time to record things, which was a long time, but anyway, sometimes I couldn't fit all the episodes into one tape. So I remember this one very specifically for being one of those episodes that I had recorded on a VHS tape and being only one of the last episodes on the tape. And maybe the episode didn't finish, it was cut before the ending, but I have a vague memory of this. But it's still, like I said, one of my favorite episodes because it has a very interesting plot and a villain that was not really featured too much in the show. In fact, it was only featured in this episode, Dr. Hugo Strange, but he's a very famous villain from the Batman lore. And this episode has him and also a trio of villains that we will talk later. But the plot is very interesting. It talks about Bruce Wayne being blackmailed for his own identity, and we will get there in time. For now, the episode starts with a judge called Maria Vargas meeting some gangsters on a bridge at night to give them some money, and so that they can return her a tape. Speaking about tapes, a tape that with something that she doesn't want to go public. And so these criminals are blackmailing her for money, and they say during the trade that the price of the exchange has gone up, so she gets desperate, and Batman intervenes in the scene trying to get the criminals and the tape that those criminals had. It falls off the bridge and it gets on top of this iron bar aside the bridge that is very dangerous to be upon. But Maria Vargas doesn't care. She starts to crawl over this bar to get the tape because she really doesn't want to have the information in the tape to go public. So she ends up getting unconscious over the bar because she hits her head, and Batman saves her before the end, but the tape falls down the river. So it already starts with this very interesting plot that is very mysterious, and we don't know exactly why Judge Vargas was after the tape. And then we have Commissioner Gordon talking about their relationship with the judge, and he tells Batman that he knows her for 20 years and really doesn't know what happened because she looked fine recently And anyway, Batman realizes that there's some mysterious plot behind the whole trade. And Commissioner Gordon reveals to Batman that the judge had she had a vacation recently in a spa, and this is already an element that can be used as a clue for Batman to investigate. So Robin gets him on the Batwing, and they both fly away. And then we go to this spa in Palm Springs, and Bruce Wayne, he assigned himself to the spa to spend some time there as a vacation excuse in order to investigate the place. And Alfred is with him. They both have a suit. They both brought the suits, I'm sorry. And then we are introduced to Doctor Strange. Again, a very famous villain of the Batman lore, and a villain that was only featured in this episode, like I mentioned before, which is very interesting because it's a villain that can have, or at least has many possibilities in terms of the relation that Batman has with all the villains, because he's in most of his versions the doctor of the Arkham Asylum, and he takes care of all the inmates there. And this is a very interesting thing that this character, a very interesting element of this character. And here he's a doctor that works in the spa, and apparently he has a very interesting treatment to deal with people that had past traumas. And obviously Bruce Wayne has a big trauma of his parents, and he decides to submit himself to the treatment of Doctor Strange. And then the treatment is about Doctor Strange putting the patient in a machine, and this machine will read the mind's thoughts and record the thoughts on tape. So we know where this is going, right? He puts Bruce Wayne in the machine, and Bruce starts to relieve his trauma with his parents' death and all these things. And the images that he projects in his mind start to be recorded on the tape. And eventually, obviously, we get to the point where he reveals his other identity, the Batman, and Doctor Strange, realizing that he got very deep into the man's secrets, he also realizes that he has gold in his hands, and he can use this information to get some money out of it, especially from the criminals or the arch enemies of Batman. And we are talking about the deadly trio of the Joker, Two-Face, and the Penguin. So Doctor Strange will call them to go to the spa and make kind of an auction to sell the identity of Bruce Wayne to this villain. So, like I said, there's a very interesting plot, a very, very, very intelligent plot. So Strange calls each of these villains and brings them by airplane to the spa in order to make this auction. So this is a great episode where the identity of Batman is in jeopardy, and he must act upon that. And talking a little bit about Strange, there is a very interesting trivia element that I would like to address here. That is, Batman the Animated Series has some canceled episodes, or at least episodes that were not produced by the team, Paul Dini, Bruce Timm, and all those guys. And apparently, it was supposed. Doctor Strange was supposed to reappear in the show in another episode that was gonna be called Mind Games. And Mind Games was going to be an episode where Hugo Strange, he messes with the memory of Batman and Robin and makes them forget their true identity. And that happening, we would have Batman and Robin going around city trying to remember their own identity, remember who they are, but actually trying to be Batman and Robin, which was going to cause a lot of funny scenes of them trying to be these heroes that they don't really remember they were. Trying to drive the Batmobile, trying to do, stuff like that. And in the end, they would discover that the whole plot was created by Doctor Strange, and they would have to go after him. So this is a very interesting episode. In fact, like I said, there were many unproduced episodes in the show, and this could be actually a great video, right? A video that I could make here for the channel. So I'm planning right now to make a video about this topic, because the other unproduced episodes are even more interesting, because we would have characters that were, far away from Batman in his gallery of characters, but they were inside the DC universe that would appear in the show. Like, for example, we would have an episode with Swamp Thing, and Swamp Thing would be in an episode related with Poison Ivy, which is very fitting, right? We would also have Sandman, believe it or not, the character from Vertigo comics, Sandman, that actually had a TV show recently, right? Sandman was going to show up in one of the episodes of the show, and apparently it would be an episode that would be a kind of a version of It's a Wonderful Life, the movie, but with Batman. I will not say the story of the episode, because I would like to address it in the video, so let's keep it for the video. But characters like these were supposed to appear, and that's a very interesting trivia element from the show. And I'm talking about this Mind Games episode because it was one that I read the script. There are some of these episodes have scripts on the internet for you to read, and this one has and full script. The other one that I remember reading was one that Batman was absent from the episode because he was caught by some villains, and Robin was the prominent character in the episode, trying to figure out where Batman was, his location, right? So it was a Robin episode, a Robin-driven episode, and he would be the protagonist. But I forgot what was the name of that one. Anyway, we're going to talk about this in the video. Right now, Bruce Wayne, he already figured out the whole plot of Hugo Strange and what he does with his machine. And he, realizing that he had his memories stolen, he decides to create another version of the tape. He breaks into the lab of Doctor Strange and creates another tape with fake memories to be used in order to save his own identity. So he does that, but the Doctor Strange and his goons break into the lab and get him during this action, and Strange threatens Bruce and he tells the goons to put him away, and both him and Alfred get trapped in a room like of the spa, so that they don't escape. And but Bruce has things going according to what he planned, so he's not afraid of the situation because he has everything under control. Then we go to the auction where Doctor Strange is trying to sell the identity of the Batman. He says that they are going to get the identity of the Batman in the tape, but first he needs to hear the money that they will spend to have the tape. So we have a scene with Bruce escaping the chains that are trapping him. Then we see we go back to the auction, and the villains are making their bets. I don't know if you say bets, but anyway, saying how much they will spend, and one goes 1 million, other goes 2 million, and then they all the Joker, being probably the smarter between them, he decides to join everyone's money to to pay for the identity. So they get 50 million and something dollars to pay Strange. And Strange is very happy about this, but when he puts on the tape and the villains are drooling to know the identity finally, they actually get a scene of Strange himself saying that he was going to plan to create this tape in order to fool the villains and get all their money, which was what Bruce Wayne actually imagined to create the fake tape, right? This is great because now he's in trouble, right? Doctor Strange is in trouble, and the villains start to chase him to get him. So it's a very funny scene. And then Strange runs away from the stage, and he runs away from the spa with the villains on his tail. And they all get into a car, and this chase starts. And next we're gonna see Alfred also driving a car and getting Batman during the way, and they all will drive until a airport nearby, where we're gonna have this kind of flying chase with Joker, Penguin, and Two-Face finally getting Doctor Strange, taking him on the airplane so they can toss him from the air. So a very funny scene. Of course, Batman will get into the airplane. He's going to hang on the wing of the airplane, or actually the wheel of the airplane, to stop the villains. And we have this very cool scene with Batman hanging on the wheel of the airplane and over this huge desert at night. And this is one of the scenes that I mostly remember as a kid. This scene of the villains taunting Doctor Strange in the airplane, and he, insisting that he knows the identity of the Batman and it is Bruce Wayne. But the villains don't believe him for some reason, especially Two-Face, because he was friends with Bruce Wayne, right, in the past. Harvey was a friend of Bruce Wayne, so he says that that's impossible. If if Bruce Wayne is Batman, he's the Queen of England, so that's a very good thing. And then, of course, Batman, he destroys some of the cables that have the gasoline of the fuel of the plane, and the plane starts to fall, and we're gonna have this rough landing with the villains dragging the airplane across the desert, while Batman is able to make a very good escape, by the way. He's able to jump off the plane and use a mountain to shoot his rope and spin around the mountain, or at least around the rock, and land himself in a very soft sand of the desert. And obviously the villains are caught in the end, right? The police arrives just in time because it was all Batman's plan. Plus, we will have a very, I mean, I don't know if it is a cool scene, but a very funny scene where, in order to preserve his identity, Wayne will show up in the scene face to face with Batman in front of Commissioner Gordon and Doctor Strange, because Strange is saying to the cops, you won't get away, I will tell everybody. No, yeah, we have to do with his accent, right? You want to get away because I will tell everybody that you are Bruce Wayne. So, when Bruce Wayne shows up in front of Batman, everybody gets confused. I mean, Strange gets confused, right? Because what the hell is happening? And this solves the questioning about Batman's identity, and Strange is taken under arrest. And then it is revealed after the cops go away that Bruce Wayne is actually none other than Dick Grayson, using his identity and also some sticks over his feet to look taller, because he's not as tall as Bruce, right? So, and we end the episode with Batman saying the line, "Okay, let's go home because I need vacations from this vacation now." Anyway, great episode, one that brings me a lot of nostalgia. And this is it, guys. Thank you so much. If you are liking the content of BATGUS, please don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next Bat video, and bye-bye.